Hello, welcome to Zwift number 23 EZ Bash, Endurance Zone Bash around the Glasgow crit. Mass start, although there weren't too many riders, there were only 9 riders in my category. So one rider goes past there, and A Martini is also shooting past me. It wasn't a massively powerful start from the whole peloton. I didn't really need to work too hard to get hold of everybody. But I had no idea whether they were in my category or not. I don't even know what colour blobs, stupidly, I am following in the mini-map in the top corner. So there's a blue blob out in front, and then there's a big group who are quite far behind already. You can see red dots just going over the start-finish line there. But stupidly, like I said, I don't even know what colour blobs I am. So we've settled in. It's going to be a 24.3 kilometre race. It's 8 laps around the Glasgow crit. It's quite a lot of inclines, as we well know. We've got the Clyde kicker that obviously if it's an 8 lap race we're going to be doing 8 times. And then there's the champion sprint over the finish line. And here is the start of that area by the Clyde kicker. There's a slight incline here. The group all stay together. And then we've got the big incline that we are going to hit now, and I'm off the back here, so I'm not in a great position, but I work hard, close to 500 watts, get back in with the group. There's about an 8% incline on that slight hill, and then I start to just ease off a little bit, but then the group's gone. In a split second the group's gone, and I'm quite close to Buesma. See why Weeb goes past, and OAC also go past, so we're trying to catch hold of them, see if we can make a bigger group and hopefully work together, and so that I can stay with all my blues, because you can see they're all blues out in front. I think there's one yellow there, but I'm predominantly looking after all the blues. So Buesma eased off here slightly, and I was able just to come through. Do I go past him? Yeah, on this occasion I went past him, and I was able to power up this slight incline, which is the last incline before the start finish. So jump forward 5 kilometres, nothing much has really happened. We'll jump forward to the leaders here with CB Johnson and Martini and a number of other riders. I think there's 13 of them in that front group. And then we head back to our twosome, back in 14th and 15th place. Buesma has been pushing hard on occasions. I've been pushing hard on occasions also. Not in the same places, so it's interesting how we to and fro around the course, and he'll push up the kicker, and I can see from time to time that his watts are really high, and then after the kickers he will just ease off slightly, especially on the very last one, which comes back towards the start finish line. He always eases off there, and I can catch him on that part of the course. He works hard on this section all the time, and I'm trying to chase his tail. I'm not purposely sitting in behind him, it's just how it's working that he's able to put out more effort than myself. We've got our Alexander behind us, he's 19 seconds behind us at the moment. He's working hard also. But we're up and going around the kicker again now for the 4th time. You can see that I try and get myself into a good position before we start off. I think on this occasion I stay in a low gear, so my RPMs are quite low. So the video glitched here, but I don't know whether something else happened, because you can see at the top of the screen there, whilst I was riding, the connection disconnected. And this was where Buesma took advantage maybe of this and opened up a 3-second gap. I don't know what had happened and why it says connection disconnected, but he opened up a little gap here, and I really had to struggle, and yeah, he's gone, and there's people coming round who we are all lapping now. You can see I've just gone past somebody by the name of MK from Germany, but Buesma's gone now, and I'm working hard. I'm quite close to my average watts. This is the hill that he usually just eases off, so I try and take advantage of that and try and push on hard. I do get it back to a second at this point, but you know, just because there's a second of a gap, it doesn't always mean that you're going to catch hold of him. But as I go up over that last little incline, I make another effort to put a burst in, and I'm unfortunately back on his tail, which is pleasing that I've been able to catch hold of him, because I didn't think I was going to be able to catch hold of him. We've got 4 laps left. I'm working hard still. I am tiring a little bit. You'll see my average watts is now down to 239, and we've got Alexander 16 seconds behind us. So we fast forwarded 8 kilometres here because nothing really much happened. I just stayed with Boesma, who's right on my tail at the moment. But just coming into the home straight with 1 lap to go, and Fulford bombs through. He's the eventual winner. Boesma chases him down. I think he thought it was our Alexander who had actually by this point caught us up. So the pace increased greatly here with Boesma and Alexander going off, and I was a little bit stranded. So coming up to the Clyde Kicker now on the last occasion. Boesma and Alexander are 2 seconds ahead as we meet the main incline, the 8% incline, taking us up to the top of the KOM. But you can see that I'm absolutely spent now. My watts are just over the 200 mark. It's a split second where I pushed for a little bit, but from being 2 seconds at the bottom of the hill, you can actually count the seconds between going up here: 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 over the corner, back down the other side of the hill, 14 seconds now, 15 seconds, and it just goes up and up and up, and I'm just cruising now to the end. I'm completely exhausted. I've put in lots of effort. My average watts is now slightly down to 234. I want them to be in the 240s, or if they're in the 250s, that's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I'm just cruising towards the finish line now, and just get this race over and done with, because all the other people, I'm 15th in the race now, so I don't know how at this point, I don't know how I'm going to, what position I'm going to finish the race in. It says I'm 15th out of everybody. It says there's 37 people who have competed, but I don't know how many people entered in each category. I do know that there were 9 who went over the start finish with our race. I just fast forwarded to our Alexander and Boesma. I did expect Boesma to come through strong, but it didn't actually happen. And our Alexander, who was catching us for about the last 6 laps, actually held off Boesma and beat him. So back to myself, I'm not getting challenged by anybody. I'm not working hard. I would have liked to have tried to increase my watts close to my average just to knock it up a bit, but I just had to cross the line at this point. And then crossing the line, I find to my great surprise that I've actually finished second. Yes, I was 4.5 minutes behind the winner in our category, but I had absolutely no idea that I was in second place. So lots of confusion behind that. I was, like I'd said right at the start of the race, I'd been following the wrong blob colours, following the wrong riders, so just completely gobsmacked with that scenario that I'd come second. So I thought, great, yeah, super. I've probably made some inroads onto my race score as well, because I'm aware that race score is based around your finishing position within the race. So I assumed then that by finishing second, that my race score that was currently at 302 would potentially increase, and that might well be a positive, although really it still doesn't make you a stronger rider. So that's the scenario I'm built with at the moment, that I'm trying to get my race score up so I know that I can compete at the top of the category, but really by getting the race score up doesn't mean that I'm a stronger rider. I don't think the two necessarily go in hand in hand. Some people may disagree with that comment, but that's how I'm finding it at the moment. So after all that, here's the final results, with E. Hilderson finishing 36.39, watts of 277, average watts 2.9, so he must be a similar weight to myself, I would have thought. Second, me in 41.09, 4 minutes and 29 seconds behind him. average watts 230, which is not what I would like to see, 2.5, but my race score is down to 210, and I've got no understanding why that would be. I just found that really confusing, that it dropped from 303, but hey ho, we'll work with it and we'll see how we go forward with that. Potentially it might allow me to be in a lower category, so potentially I might use that to my advantage, but that's not something I've tried to create. That's not a manufactured race score. In third place was C Morrow. He averaged 2.4 watts. Jay Webb was fourth. He averaged 2.5 watts. And MK, he averaged 1.5 watts. So an enjoyable race. I worked hard. I just didn't have the energy towards the end. But let's see how that race score helps me going forward. Okay, thanks for watching. Goodbye.